Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Louise.
I'm Loup.
And together we are in the Loop. Today we are joined by Tery. Thank you very much for joining us.
Welcome.
And you are Tery from Tery Joshi Images.
That's right.
So tell us a bit about what you do.
So I'm a photographer, but more specifically a brand photographer. So I work with small businesses who need to put themselves out there, because everyone does these days, on your website, on your LinkedIn, your social media, wherever you need to show up, you need good visuals
Okay.
that show you.
Mm-hmm.
And so before we go into the actual photography side of things, how long have you been doing this for? And is this what you've always done, or?
So I've dabbled with a few different things. I've got a degree in economics, which no one ever would have thought of. Yeah, I know. Dabbled in a few different things. Photography was always a hobby of mine. And then when I finally was working in a large international bank, which was not for me, that's what pushed me over the edge of take photography to the next level, learn properly all of the details of it. And then people started asking me to do photography for their families at the weekend, and they were like, I'll pay you for it. And it's like, maybe there's something in here.
Oh, hobby turned passion.
And then how did you end up from that to businesses? Because it's quite specific.
It's quite specific, yeah. So when I started photography, I was living in Singapore, and there was a very natural expat community of people who wanted family photos, and that's where I started. A little bit of corporate if they asked me, so a little bit of an anything that you needed photographer. Actually, it was the good old pandemic.
Oh,
Sorry, that old chestnut. So during that time, I was like, right, okay, I can't really photograph families. It's all weekends and evenings. What else can I do? Came across brand photography, which I'd done previously, but not really called it that. But learning about brand photography and the process that comes before turning up for the shoot, learning about the brand, actually doing all of the background checks so you've got the best bank of images. That's when I niched down into brand, put all the other bits to one side, and then it's like, right, now I need to go and meet people who need this kind of photography. And that's what has helped, and that's how I've marketed it.
so how long ago did you start your business then? During the pandemic, that sort of...
Yeah, so Tery Joshi Images has been going, I think, since 2005.
Oh, okay.
It's been a long time.
Oh,
So it was always Tery Joshi Images.
Yeah.
I had to go back and look because I knew you were going to ask me. It's like, yeah, I've been a photographer for that long. But yeah, Tery Joshi Images niching into brand
Yeah.
to 2020.
Wow, okay. And is that all you do now, is the brand side of things?
Yeah, all I do now is brand. I have to say I'm missing the families a little bit. And I'm like,
you?
maybe, because you get to work with little toddlers and run around like an idiot and make a fool of yourself and make
They're
them
really
laugh.
hard to photo, though.
So hard.
Oh, I think they'd
You
frustrate
do a rat
me.
or something, and then they focus.
Yeah, that's it.
Like a dog.
Something.
Like a dog,
Get
yeah.
a whistle, whatever. Yeah. Although I did a shoot recently for someone who does buggy fit, and she had a room full of toddlers, and that actually was
What's
chaos.
buggy fit? Mum's running around with buggies and a kid.
Exactly that.
Yeah?
Doing fitness.
What, in a park
And
or
she
something?
takes them to. She lives in Windsor, so she takes them to the Great Walk in Windsor, the Long Walk, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called,
Yeah.
The mart.
with all the buggies. And then she does exercise with, and the kids get involved. The kids climb on the mums, and the kids get involved with it all. So that really gave me like, no, I really like kids. I mean, it was chaos. It's like herding cats,
Yeah.
like definitely.
Do you know what? I'm going to really
yeah.
digress here, but with
Yeah.
the buggy fit thing, it really makes me cringe when I see someone that's just... Have you seen them when they're just out for a run with a
Yes,
child in
yes.
one? So they've got these proper running buggy things. But it really irritates me when I see them and they're running and they're just pushing it with one hand, and I think your posture is just going to be all like crooked. It really upsets
Do
me.
that one, and then that one, and then you're.
Honestly, every time I'm like, just hold it with two and stay straight. Like, oh yeah. But anyway, completely
I thought you were going to be
digress.
concerned about the child, like the child
no.
that's going.
Nah, they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah.
Half of them are asleep, I think. So, with regards to your business, then, so one of the things that we wanted to do, and part of the reason for like this sort of series of podcasts, is getting information out there to business owners that have either just started or are thinking about running their own business.
Yeah.
The things that perhaps they need to think about, the things that would be good for their business. So, for you and your business, what's been your biggest struggles in running a business?
Getting known,
Okay.
I think, because people can't work with you unless they know you.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
do you find getting yourself out there?
So for me, getting myself out, when I switched to brand, it was like, right now I need to meet small businesses specifically. It's not just mummy groups or whatever. Where do those people go? If you're serious about your small business, you probably network. So go to networking, you'll meet other people, and then you meet their networks,
Yeah.
and then social media. Because then once people have met you in whatever way they've met you, you keep that visibility and that presence by being present on social media.
Is that networking again?
It's
Yeah.
that networking.
We were saying
But
that's a very
also, like,
common
if
theme.
you're doing like the buggy run, then there's got to be like other mums surely in that they've got a little business and they're gonna think, oh,
100%.
so you're gonna get like a backdoor kind of
That spin-off of
yeah.
and absolutely. I think networking is not just the people that you meet at networking.
Yeah.
If you've come across well enough, they will talk to
Yeah.
their friends. So it's people that you've worked with who people see the work.
I was going to say,
and they contact
networking
you.
doesn't necessarily have to be at a networking group, does it? It happens
No,
all the time
no.
with everyone you're
Do
speaking
you know my
to.
favourite story of how I once got a client?
Absolutely.
He crashed into my car in a car park.
And you took a photo of it.
No. I was in a gym, and this guy came running up, and he was like, "Oh my god, who's got the black Honda? I've just crashed into your car really, really badly." And I
Oh,
was like
no.
in the middle of like doing crunches or something, and I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And like he said, "Here's my number," and then he went, and I was like, "I'm never going to see him again." He was lovely. He sorted my car out, got me a courtesy car. He was obviously had a lot of money. Got me a courtesy car, got me a bunch of flowers, and we got chatting.
Oh.
And then he hired me to do his brand shoot.
Amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That is brilliant.
That's networking.
Have you got like a
Exactly.
common like people get the pictures and they go, oh, can you just take this out? But for me, I'd probably be like, oh, can you just ease out on my chin a bit? Or
Yeah.
Get rid of my
But-
bags.
Yeah, tart myself
Yes,
up a
but
little
no,
bit.
but yeah, I would always try and get that information in first.
Right.
So,
okay.
like, I don't like my profile. Do you have a preferred side? I would always try and figure out what your hang-ups are first.
Okay.
Because everyone's got hang-ups.
Yeah.
And then if I know them in advance, and that's why early in the shoot, I will very often say, here's what we've got. And then you get that silence. They look, and they're like, oh, is that what I actually look like? But then quite often you'll have that silence like, oh, but I don't like that about myself, which is why
Yeah.
people need to be honest with me and
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
I don't like that about myself.
Yeah.
And so then if I know, I can compensate for it.
So are most people
Yeah.
putting these pictures on their websites?
Yeah,
Or,
so everything. Yeah, so it's webs. If you're starting out, it's a good idea to start out with a bank of pictures so that when you are doing your website, and what I do is absolutely not, here's my headshot, here's my face, here's my face, here's my face, here's my face. Because like, that's really boring.
Yeah.
Like, we know what,
what
your
about
face
these
is, we need to see
LinkedIn
it.
pictures? Are like,
Yeah, exactly. So I always call it the link. With families, I used to call it the grandma shot, which
Right.
is like the classic portrait. And with brands, I call it the LinkedIn shot. Let's do the LinkedIn shot. Now let's see who you
Oh,
really
I hate
are.
that. It's like a
Okay.
passport photo, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're face on and it's like the
Exactly.
worst
Yeah. So
style
we did
of
that
photo.
on your first shoot. We got the backdrop out, and we did the LinkedIn
Yeah.
photos, and then it's like, right, now let's see who you really are.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, it's headshots, but it's also you working, you interacting, you on your computer, and you're not even in it. Maybe it's your hands and your notebooks and the props and all of that linked into your brand and your colours and the ethos of what you want. You know, your values come in a lot to what we want to portray. And are you the corporate side, or are you like the more holistic side and just, you know, do we want you in a yoga pose and meditating, or do we want you in an office and suited and booted?
I know what you need to do as well. I'll tell you who's got the most boring stock images is aesthetics websites.
Yeah.
They've all got like that same
Yeah,
Shutterstock image of like this needle. And then
Yes.
the one with that like clear face, but they've all got the same.
Yeah.
They've all got the same one. And then we've got customers like our clinical based customers, and you look on their website and you're like, oh yeah, same
Yeah.
images as the
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet on their Instagram they got loads of like all the work they've done. You're thinking, why don't you just use some of your own pictures?
Inject that into, oh yes, and you're saying that stock images that are not even their images.
Yeah, they're just like from
Yeah.
say like Shutterstock, but if they had like a different picture, more personal to them,
Yeah.
rather than all these aesthetic websites all got the same image.
Yeah.
And that was
I-
something
okay,
that I was
no,
going to
okay,
bring
I-
up to you.
So I'll get you on that one because I work for a few companies like that as well, and they do stock images, as say, but when you look at their Instagram, with all their customers on there smiling away, showing nothing, what were you using that?
Yeah.
They've
Or
had
these
that
like
more.
dead American corporate ones.
Yeah.
They come in a lot with that big like window in the background, and they're all like
yeah.
pointing.
It's my bugbear, and you can see it from a mile off. You can see this is a stock image. They've all got they're perfect people with perfect smiles, and it's like, no, I want my real characters to be in there. I want
That was my
real-
old modelling job.
Oh dear. But it is. It's we were talking to. So on the last episode, we had Lisa from Level 3 Creative, and she does branding, but the the logo side of
Yes.
things. And you mentioned a minute ago about the colours. So, and it all goes hand in hand. We were talking about the colours so people recognise.
Yeah.
So obviously with like the photos and stuff like that, are there ways that you can bring the colour side of someone's brand into their photos?
100% across the board. I mean, I see it as an excuse to buy more stationery. Yeah. So when I work with a client, before we even turn up with a camera, it's like, what are your value words? What are your colours? And let's talk about that down to what you're wearing. And I don't want you to be look like your logo, but I want you to be cohesive, because if those pictures are turning up on your website, you want the page to be cohesive. So you want the colours in what you're wearing, and the pen that you're holding, and the notebook, and the Sharpies that are on your desk, and mugs. I've got so many mugs. It's like, this is my brand colour. I've got a mug for you. I'll bring it with me.
Amazing.
I like a branded mug.
Yeah, but branded or just in the right colour.
So when you
Even
say
just in the
about
right colour.
So with finding out the details beforehand, how do you find out the information from people? So do you sit and have a conversation, or what's like their sort of homework? What do they need to do before a
It
shoot?
is homework. I like that. It's like my initial email when I was going to work with someone is like, I'm sorry, I'm going to make you do all of this work now, but here's a workbook. Can you please do it for me? Yeah. So it's a workbook that we will have had a conversation, of course, and we will have covered bits of it, but then the workbook goes into more detail on why do you do what you do? What's your drive? All that. Something that's a bit mushy, but if you've worked on your business, you've probably done this work already. And some people haven't done that work yet, and it's a real like, oh, maybe I need to think about this. And sometimes it's maybe we need to delay the shoot and make sure that we're actually authentically what your brand's about.
So you'd rather do that than with someone delay a shoot if they're
Yeah.
not quite make sure. I guess you wouldn't get the images that they'd be happy with. otherwise, would you?
100%, yeah, 100. I had someone recently who asked me to do some images for them, and they asked for something. They were in a real rush, so they didn't have time to do the pre-shoot meeting. So after the workbook, there's another meeting where we go through the workbook, we go through visuals that they may have collected or visuals of mine that they've seen, and we skipped that. And she was like, no, I need to do it. I'm going on holiday. And she got the images and she wasn't happy
Right.
because of the look and feel of them, and we reshot having done that step that
Yeah.
we'd missed, and it really solidified to me that the
Yeah.
process, you have to go through the whole process.
Well, I remember, because I was about to ask you a question, and then I remembered I did photography on work experience in London, and for a whole week we took photos of pasta, and it was so boring.
It sounds it.
And then so there was the lady that made the pasta,
Yeah.
but you have to cool it in a particular way so that you don't get like a film on it or anything. And then you have to put the sauce on in a particular way.
Yeah.
Then we took like loads of photos of this pasta dish, and then they go, no, it's not right. Right, get the pipette, and then you've got like pipette a little bit of, take another photo of it. And it was like a whole day for like one flavour of pasta.
I must admit, I do always look at pictures on food and
Yeah.
like yogurt pots and stuff, like
Yeah.
the spoon, and I just think, how did they put it on there? Because if I scoop something, it
Completely
never looks
naked.
I know.
They get glycerin and they get spray.
Yeah.
Oh,
And foam and
yeah.
stuff like that.
And this is why I don't do
Yeah.
food photography.
And that's why.
It sounds like hell.
But I think Burger King got sued the other day in America because I don't remember exactly, but because the burger doesn't look like the image, and I think the
Yes.
beef patty comes out further than the bread does, or vice versa. They said, well, that's not a like for like, and it's
Yeah.
like false advertising.
Was this a bit of your bedtime reading?
Does make sense.
Hot news this was.
So I'll do food if it's incorporated with everything else, but food
Eating a
photography.
sandwich.
Yeah.
No.
You never take pictures of people eating. It's an unwritten photographer rule. It's just no.
What's your favourite photo shoot, would you say, that you've done? What type of business, if you've even got one?
I don't know if it's on purpose. I have sort of drifted to the kinds of businesses that I like. So it's a lot of creatives, artists, fitness people, talking therapies.
Oh,
So
okay.
people who are like, why do I need a brand shoot? It's just me talking to someone. And it's like, well, then even more so because
Yeah.
people need. So then it is pulling out the expressions so that people can get to see who you are and what it's like to interact with you. So what's my favourite kind of shoot? Someone where you get to pull out some character.
And I guess the arty type ones, you've also got their products or whatever it is
Yeah.
that they're doing that
Yeah.
can be.
I don't do many product people with products.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of some. There are hardly any.
Who'd be your ideal if someone came to you and said, oh, could you
With
do
a
this?
product,
Or like a customer. I think Red Bull's always got cool.
I would love, and I've got someone in mind. I would love like an artist who's got a studio full of their art.
Oh yeah.
And I know someone who I'm going to connect, who I kind of know a little bit.
They splash it all on the wall.
Yeah, in the process. I'd love it in the process, but also like an artist in an artist studio that's beautiful.
All the finished pieces.
Natural light. Yeah, all the finished pieces behind, and then that would be really cool.
So with if there's anyone listening then that's thinking about whether they should be looking to get a branded shoot done for their business, what are the sort of positives and the pros that they could get out of it? What sort of things could they use it for? How many sort of photos would they be looking at getting from a shoot
like
with
a
you?
package.
Yeah, how do you sort of, not necessarily going into the prices, but how do you price it? Do you do packages, or where do people start?
Okay, shall I start with what would you get out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. If you think about...
Sorry, I threw loads of questions.
I
got really carried away.
How long have you got? So, why do you need a shoot? If you imagine that you need something, let's say, I don't know, anything you want to get, you're gonna go to, who do I know who might do that job already? I'll speak to them. If you don't know anyone, you'd be like, who do I know who knows someone who does that job? So you'd then speak to them. And if you haven't come up with anything, you'd probably Google or search or something, and then you'd come up with someone. And then what you would do, or what I would do, is go to their website or their Instagram, and I'd have a little look and see who they are. I'd see what they do. Does it cover what I want? And then I'd immediately go to the About You page.
Okay.
I'd be like, who are you? Do I think I'll gel with you? Even if it's a recommendation of someone who's recommended someone, I'd still do the same. I'd go to their Instagram and their website. So before I pick the phone up and speak to someone, I will probably have a good idea of whether or not I want to work with them. And that is what you say and what pictures you show and how you represent yourself in the virtual world before you even have met the person. So what I think good visuals generally, good images that show who you are, they actually do that. So when someone's going to stalk you before they call you, so they make it worthwhile.
And I guess then they know sort of what to expect by the time they then speak to you as well.
And video fits in that mix as well. Video massively fits in that mix, because then, if you see pictures of someone, great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm selling myself out of a job, but video as well. Do it with your iPhone, it's fine. But video as well, where you actually get to feel like you're speaking to that person. And not fully corporate, here I am in the studio, but that natural, here I am talking to my camera kind of thing. I think all of that. So that's why.
Okay.
What do you get? Yes, I absolutely. Not everyone can afford a full day shoot in London where we go to all the sites.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. If it comes, so my packages are an hour package.
Yeah.
3 hour, a full day. I'm going to introduce the mini shoots, because absolutely maybe you just want like that kickstart. Here I am. And
then a mini shoot, what would you get?
In a mini shoot, you get maybe like 20 minutes, half an hour. So it really is it's like a slightly extended headshot, but more natural. So from that, you'd probably get like 5 or 6 images. If you're doing a 1 hour shoot, you'd probably get 30 images, half a day, 100. I shoot a lot, so I deliver a lot. And it's all, this is what you're going to get. It's not like, now we've done the shoot, now you get to go and choose the pictures, and I'm going to give you X amount per picture. I'm like, if I shoot then I'm going to choose the best ones. I'm going to process those so that you get a selection of the best. And in each setup, there will be a range of different, because not everyone loves every picture of themselves, understandably. So you get a few different expressions in each setup and different angles and all of that. So half a day, you'll get about 100 shots, and then it goes up from there if you do a full day or a year package.
Because you use yours quite a lot on your socials.
Yeah, we do. It's nice to be able to do that rather than have to like Google something and find an image and do something generic. So I really like having our own photos. Equally, we included the dogs in our photos.
I was just going to say, my perfect artist needs some animals. And if anyone's got animals, no matter what business you're in, I need the animals.
Bring them in.
Yeah, please.
Oh, brilliant. And with regards to sort of the networking side of things, so is there anything else that you do to attract customers, or is that the main way that you find your clients?
Yeah, I mean, networking is the main way. Networking, and just I don't go and meet someone on the street and be like, hello, I'm a photographer, would you like to work with me? But if it comes up in conversation and people are interested, then talk about it with also, the passion that you have.
Sorry, I've seen like on photographers, they got like, obviously your photo sells yourself, and then at the bottom they got those little bits, don't they?
If clients
little
tag me
thumbnail.
when they use the
Yeah.
pictures, I love it. Yeah, and literally somebody recently, a new set of photos is a really good reason for you to go out there and and say, look, I've got a new set of photos.
what
So
I've
it's
just
actually okay, great. And then somebody did that on LinkedIn and tagged me and recommended. She just said that it was great working with me. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Literally 15 minutes later, I got a call from someone I'd never heard of before saying,
Oh, right.
"Oh, I've just seen these photos," and so that is networking in a way.
Yeah.
It's like that. Is
Yeah.
like your net spreading.
Trying to think of what I'd have. Just like loading the bands.
I've got
Stood
so
next to
many
a
ideas
weaving.
of you.
Action
for
shots
you.
like that.
Yeah, I've got so many. Yeah, since we worked together and now found out. So that happens. If I if I meet someone, I can already imagine their brand shoot and all the different things and angles that we would do. It's dreadful.
I can just see your mind going.
Yeah.
mad.
It's like, and then the lighting there, and then that angle. Like, you could, yeah. Anytime you want to chat.
I did have it a long time ago, and then I forgot, so I was running late, and I had proper bed hair, and then I had it on my old website, and I was like, oh, it looks such a state, like this chicken hair.
Chicken hair.
I guess that's also something though, that when not you personally, but let's say that there's other people that have got a business and they've had a branded photo shoot, they can then use those photos on so many different things, can't they? Literature, websites,
Everything's
social
so visual
media.
now.
Yeah. And I think if you're going to put a post on, whatever that post is about, if you were to put an image alongside it, you're going to capture someone rather than just putting a load of text, which people are just going to
100%,
scroll on past. So,
100%, yeah.
I think it's really important. Like, in my personal opinion, I've been a lot happier with all of our content and everything that we've done since we've had photos actually taken of the business. Do you do anything? So obviously where we're thinking about startups, it's great to hear that you're going to be thinking about like the mini shoot and stuff. Let's say that someone wanted to do one that was a bit longer. Do you do sort of like any payment plans or anything, or come up with any arrangements to...
100%. Yeah, absolutely happy to stagger payments out, because the process of planning takes a while. And the process of me editing takes a while. So I'm very happy to spread the payments out. The other thing I'm doing and I'm working on at the moment is, not everyone can afford a brand shoot up front, even if it's a short one, is like, and even between brand shoots, of course you want to keep images coming with your iPhone. So I'm working on like a little bit of a, just sort of standalone, here's how to use your phone for your business and get some decent pictures, either when you're just starting out or between your brand shoots, so that you've got some more imagery coming through as well.
Yeah, that's great, because I think sometimes it's like the angles and stuff, isn't it? I know we had something the other day in the office and we were like, oh, let's just put this on our story, for example. I can't even tell you how long I was stood there for, moving these bloody notebooks around and like, there's that bit in the background. Oh no, there's a wire over there.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, you get all the clutter in the back and stuff like
I
that.
know. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to move that so I can't see this wire going down there. But by the end of it, I thought, I can't even be bothered. So we did it, but
so that's what I'm going to do. So and thank you. I'll include all of that as well. So include the desktop photos. That, I think that as a workbook that is available on my website will help you bridge that gap until you know you're ready.
Yeah, brilliant.
Is there like a studio? Like, do people ever just want to rent a studio and just have it there?
Yeah, but I don't really like that style.
Just have it all natural in the workplace.
But then choosing location is a big thing. Because not everyone has an office that's amazing to photograph. So you can get location houses. Yeah. If you're a home-based business, you can absolutely do that. Or I don't need much space in your home, as long as there's decent lighting, or I can supplement the lighting. Then literally a plain wall. I've very often taken someone's office to their dining table. Taken a couple of pictures off the wall and used that as their space, and put a shelf behind and put some plants and
brilliant.
Dress it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I could use a studio. I'd rather not.
Actually, there was a guy I was chatting to the other day, and they do these like home products, and they went on Airbnb and rented this cottage in the country. Took all these like country products there, took photos of them, and then put it on their website.
Perfect.
What a great way to business expense a weekend away.
I've often been on Airbnb, like Airbnbs in the area, and then you get that, or hotels, and you get that very difficult. What's your by the hour rate?
Yeah.
I got to do that photo shoot in Barbados, I remember.
With the pigs that swim in the sea.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. I've now completely forgotten what I was about to say now. No, it's gone. Gone from my mind, I'm afraid. I've remembered what I was going to say. It was about the pricing. So where you said about the different shoots, do you have a set price, or do you speak to clients about what it is that they need within that like half day or whatever?
Yeah. So I would always want to chat to someone first, just in case there's like, we need to hire a model, we need to include a makeup. Yeah, I have a set price, but there are add-ons that you
Might
can
be
add
extras.
on. Or, yeah, you know, if we think it might go over, then let's clear up a bit of the day and then have it. If it goes over, then we add that extra on.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a very, I want my pricing to be transparent. I don't want people to have surprises at the end of the day. So
Is it on your website?
No, but I think it needs to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I've got a mentor who's like, don't put it out there, get in front of the person first. I don't think that's right. I
always like prices on a website.
For me, I would go there. I would be like, at least know where it starts.
Yeah,
like,
because
from this price.
And also, I think, like, I look at a lot of stuff, like yesterday I was on the train, I looked something up, so I haven't got time to call up, or you do it in like an evening when you're like lying in bed and you're scrolling.
Yeah.
So I want to know what the price is now. I don't really want to go to the contact page. And people, I think, are like, oh, they're going to undercut you, but they don't. So
Yeah.
And also, you don't want to be you probably don't want to be the cheapest, because
No,
you
of
want to
course.
give quality service and quality product. And
Definitely. But yeah, the reason I was asking is because obviously most people that are just starting out, money's a big thing.
100%.
And sometimes I think people can often think that things are actually a lot more than they are. So yeah, that's a good one. If people need to contact you or want to contact you, where's the best place they can find you?
because Instagram's really visual, that's where I tend to hang out the most. And I've got an unusual name, so it is just Tery Joshi. Tery with a Y, Joshi with an I.
Brilliant, it's like a little
I've
poem.
started doing that, I know, because people always, because it's Tery with a Y, which is the boys' way of spelling Terry.
Right.
So everyone spells it wrong. So now it's like, yeah, Tery with a Y, Joshi with an I.
So on Instagram, and if they want to get in touch with you, contact you through there, or
Through there is absolutely fine. My website is just teryjoshi.com as
Okay.
well, because it's an unusual name.
brilliant.
Yeah.
And Roop's going to finish off with our question for you.
all right, so if you could have one drink for the rest of your, a cocktail we'll go with, or an alcoholic drink,
Why are we going for a cocktail?
then what
do
drink
that?
would you have?
Depends on the time of day. Oh, it's for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It would be very much a time of day driven answer, but now you just said rest of my life. So now it's a very easy choice.
Go on.
Yeah. I'm not a big alcohol drinker, just whatever. Tea or Diet Coke
Yeah.
is my problem.
Oh,
It's tea or Diet Coke. It's tea.
do you have them every day?
Yeah, and I'm trying to wean myself off the Diet Coke. Tea is like, no, pot, forget. You know, you talk about intermittent fasting. It's like, don't have anything till 12 o'clock. It's like, well, no, I'm having my cup of tea. I don't care.
So which one have you picked?
Tea.
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 I'll tell you what, my husband will give you a run for your money with the Diet Coke.
Oh, yeah, my husband too.
So bad.
Yeah.
No, loads of people. They have like so many a day.
Oh, Luke probably has at least 5 a day. He's bad. He's bad.
Just Diet Coke.
Sometimes
or they go to that full
I'm
fat?
going to the kitchen and I say, oh, do you want anything? Oh, yeah, grab me a drink. I'll come in with a bottle of water, and he just gives me that look. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah. If we run out of Diet Coke in our house.
It makes you so thirsty, though.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Anyway, tea. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. That's been really helpful. And if anyone wants to get in touch with Tery to talk about branding photography, anything photography, then you know now where to find her. And if anyone's got any questions, then please do let us know. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
No, thank
Really
you.
good fun.
Hi, I'm Dee Shepherd from SMJ Media Group. If you like what we do and if you enjoyed what you heard today, then please do continue to support us. Support us in our conversations, in our events, in our communication, and how we publish and how we promote all local businesses. So, how do you do that? Well, you can buy me a coffee. Where? buymeacoffee.com/SMJ Media Group.